Welcome to DOMINO Arcade. It's Neil McRae here, using a slightly different camera setup to before that I normally do these. Welcome everybody, I'm on a high. I've just got back from InDisc 22 and it was absolutely awesome. Jim, Carl, the whole team there just nailed it. Thanks for putting it on and thanks for letting me come, guys. I loved every single minute of it. Can't wait for next year. A lot going on in DOMINO Arcade. First of all, let's talk a little bit about my AV setup because a few of you asked me about this. So I have this kind of server here that has a bunch of PCI HDMI cards in, and then in every game I've got where I can get HDMI out of it. I take HDMI out, so the CGC games do HDMI out, which is really handy. And then for Stern I do a LVDS to HDMI re-interface or conversion, grab HDMI and pipe it into this, and it allows me to kind of use the screens I've got in this room for various different views or competitions and stuff. Really cool. Next, it's time to blame Marv Loco for something. So if you search on YouTube, you'll find Marv Loco. Subscribe to him. Travis is an absolutely fantastic guy, gentleman, really nice guy, great pinball player, and he's got a great podcast, one of the best podcasts in pinball. I don't watch many podcasts, but his podcast, and he's also part of Triple Drain. I never miss it. It's a great podcast. Well, he did a game room walk and had a gold version of this. It was a little bit smaller, so unfortunately the gold version was limited edition. It's sold out. A company called Sideshow, which is a very dangerous place if you're into trinkets that you don't need like me. So sideshow.com, you'll see all sorts of you can only describe them as toys, and I ordered this thinking it wasn't that big. When I arrived it was in this massive box, and let's say I had some explaining to do to the wife, but it's bigger than my leg, but it looks awesome. From Avengers, the Hulk version of the glove, if you've watched Avengers. And then back to the games. So let's start with Theatre Magic, which normally I don't have a lot to say about Theatre Magic, but I've done a big upgrade on it. Stumbler Pinball came out with this DMD sign, and it might not look great on the video because of the way LED refreshes, but this is a widescreen DMD, a bit like the CGC ones, and he basically got a pin DMD, larger version of the screen, got all the code on it, built the platform, built the speaker panels, put speakers in, LED, speaker lights which are programmable. He uses other Stumbler products to do that, and he's absolutely nailed it. The man is a genius and a really nice bloke, even though he's from down under. We won't hold that against him, but he does this for a lot of Williams games and Bally games. Give him a ping on pinballinfo.com, which is the local UK pinball place, best place to get that. And because the speakers have been updated, I want to update the sub, so I bought a new sub to put in the game at some point in time. But an absolutely great job, and then I kind of move over to these three fantastic games, the Lyman trifecta, which only more appreciative of these games. Basically, we got some terrible news earlier this year. Lyman passed away, and I genuinely cried. I met Lyman in 2016. I kind of just jumped on him in the corridor at Pinball Expo, and he was a true gentleman. Talked to me and signed a few things for me, and it was like meeting your hero, and genuinely heartbroken for his family and friends. But Lyman, you will be remembered, and we won't forget you, and you'll entertain us forever because these games are just amazing. All the best to Lyman's family and friends, and Godspeed to Lyman. Not a lot changed on these games, still waiting for a Scorebit, J, etc. please, well, CGC really. Got Cactus Canyon on order. Looking forward to getting that again. Lyman involved in that, so looking to see the magic that he's brought to that game. TNA, not a lot changed there. There's actually a new code update. It's changed a few things. I can't remember what's in the code update. I think a few optimizations for Scorebit and a few other things, bug fixes, etc. But great to see Scott still doing code updates for it. Batman 66 got the Stern cover on it because it's the first game in the door. I kind of dump stuff on it when I come in, so I use this cover just to give it a bit of protection. Another Lyman Genius game. Really phenomenal game. And it's got Insider connected on it as well. X-Men, Star Trek and dialed in. X-Men and Star Trek, not a lot to update on there. Got some toppers. I think they were here when I last took this video. Dialed in. The big thing for that is a new code update that has Scorebit included and achievements. So as you play the game, you score achievements, which has brought a new dimension to the game. Really great addition. So if you've got one of these games, you just download the update from from JGP. You put it on the game. If you haven't got a Wi-Fi dongle built into the game, some games have, some games don't. You buy that off Amazon, you plug it in and your game's connected. Absolutely amazing. And then this guy, we met this guy a while ago, and we were asking him various questions about something, and he was tight-lipped. But again, this came from Sideshow. I really love The Mandalorian, it's such a great thing, and my great Stern Neon sign from Debbie Neon, and then I got another Sideshow Mandalorian toy, trinkets that I don't need that will get dusty and covered in dust, but I really like this and picked it up. So beautiful piece of sculpture, I guess you'd call it. Never thought I'd be in the sculpture, but they really did a great job on that. And Alan Bean from Apollo 12 painted the picture of Columbia, sorry, the Eagle rather, not Columbia, the Eagle leaving the moon on the way back to Earth in 1969. Great painting. Alan Bean sadly passed away a couple of years ago as well. I was lucky to meet him. Fourth man to walk on the moon, and a really funny guy, actually, amazingly funny. Told me a story about Pete Conrad that I can only repeat in the bar, let's say. So, which brings me on to a couple of things. First of all, Walking Dead, not a lot of changes there, and then a new game, Mandalorian. What a phenomenal game. I think this is new. I'm pretty sure it's new since I last did this in September. It's February 2022. I think the last one I did was September. I don't think this was here, was it? I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. Anyway, what wasn't here was this little guy doing his thing. Lermods and a bunch of other people on Pinside. Lermods built this for me. I know he took someone else's idea, and I can't remember who that was. A-Bait, I think. Absolutely fantastic, and an absolutely staggeringly great game. Jerry on sound just nailed this. The sound was really important to me. Obviously waiting for the topper, which we'll probably wait for 2 years for, with the way that Lucasfilm and Disney do licensing, but I'm happy to wait for it. It's not the most complex of games, but it's a lot of fun, simple to pick up, and challenging. I find it, a challenging game. Some great shots. You got to have the flippers really tight for the big shot up the middle. I really enjoy it, and it really feels like, unlike previous Star Wars games, it really feels like you're part of the Mandalorian episode. As opposed to Star Wars, it feels like you're in some weird version of Star Wars that no one's ever seen or cares about. Anyway, brilliant from Stern and Brian Eddy. I've got all of his games. Every game he's got I've bought, and because they're all fun. And I'm looking forward to his new game later this year, which is another Marvel game, allegedly. We'll wait and see. What else going on? So again, Black Knight, it's got Stern Insider connected on it. Not a lot of change there. There is one big change, I think, since our last game, which is I got the topper. Thank you, Coin Taker. I actually ended up with two, believe it or not. It's a long story, but I sold one on. But again, Insider connected on all these games. Great. Really enjoy Stranger Things, another Brian Eddy game. We got Led Zeppelin. It's just a phenomenal game with phenomenal music. Iron Maiden, playing a bit more Iron Maiden recently. I think this is going to be a genuinely true classic game that everybody owns at some point in time. Yeah, the music's not great. I'm not a fan of it. It's okay. I've got more accustomed to it, but as you know, I've got a special soundtrack on this game that everyone loves. Jurassic Park, a game that really was on the way out. I've learned to love it again. Played it a bit more, learned the shots, got a bit further on it than I've ever got before. Still a very tough game, but I don't think there's any danger of it leaving. Avengers, big shout out to Stern and Pat Power for helping me a couple of issues with Stern. They really stand behind their games and really have looked after me. Really appreciate it. And then the big new game since the last time, Godzilla. What an absolutely phenomenal game. Let's have a look at this great back glass. I mean, it's just staggeringly nice. And then you've got, you know, this big burning building. It goes up and down. It's a lot of fun. This mecha Godzilla that the magnet sticks to. Just a really great game with toys, but also with a great ball and flippers game. Frankly, it's fun to play. It's got the insider connected on it, which is cool. But really, please Stern work with Scorebit. There's no reason why you shouldn't, other than a fear of the unknown, and that's not a reason not to do something. In the worst case, you can try, and if it doesn't work, you kill it. But if you don't try, you'll never know. It's a glorious words from Gene Cernan. If you don't try something, you'll never know how good it might be. Deadpool, Elvira, and Turtles. Again, not a lot of change here. I got a new rig thanks to the designer Carl D'Angelo. New lightweight rig that's a bit easier to move around, and it's portable. You can actually fold it up and put it in a case, which is great. And then I got another Mandalorian piece of art here that I just picked up recently that I really like. I love the artwork at the end of the Mandalorian and the end of Book of Boba Fett, which was also brilliant in my view. And that's it really. You can see more of the setup for being able to bring any game DMZ or LCD into my display. I've got a few cameras. Actually, if you look where it's hard for me to get my rig in, I've got a few cameras, and then before I got the rig, I built these cameras into the game room. I've just left them there because it means I can show 2 or 3 games at the same time or change easily. Although I prefer to use the rig because the quality of the cameras are much better. And that's kind of it. As I said, it's been a real high as people get back to playing pinball. Big shout out to Pinball Heaven, Stern, CGC, Pinball Life, who just so good. Marco Speck, who are brilliant as well. Pin Monk, Vic does a great job of accessories that everyone needs. They're really well priced. They're amazingly made. I encourage you to buy stuff from Pin Monk. And then Comet Pinball, which are the LEDs that I use in my games. Definitely check them out. And loads of other folks. The speaker lights I've got are from speakerlightkits.com. Doug does a great job. And then finally, just a quick update on Scorebit. The guys have been really busy adding more and more to Scorebit. That 404 is my fault. Basically, I'm going to update something that I haven't updated. I deleted something and changed things around. But you can see they've got this high definition display now that lets you fit in a load of games, which is really cool, and just makes it really easy. But they've added achievements and modes, so if you're playing a game and you're in a mode, it'll tell you the mode you're playing in. I recently had this. There's the high scores on the other screen now. I recently had a tournament where I had all these on display and people were able to watch what was going on without crowding the game, which they all thought was fantastic. And you could see there was 2 games playing on, and depending on how the game went, decided the finals, and you could watch it kind of simultaneously from the score. So, you know, absolutely great, fantastic setup. That's it from me really. A big shout out to everyone in pinball. Also, quick thing, As you know, I'm a patron or kind of founder of what was Flip Out London, a pinball club in London. I've got about 15 games there. One day I'll do a video of them. But we had to change our name. We're now known as the Pinball Republic. We're still in the same venue in London. Still the same great games and the great crowd of folks that are there. Pinballrepublic.com to get to our website, and really hope you visit there or come here one day. I've got a tournament coming up at the end of April, and really actually mid-April, Easter. Looking forward to that. Should be a lot of fun, and I'll do another update of this probably August time frame maybe, or earlier if something major happens. But enjoy pinball, and get out there and support your local pinball place. They've had a hard time and they really need your help. And with that, I'm signing off. Thanks everybody. Stay safe.